Despite the remarkable progress in science, technology, and archaeology, some mysteries remain unresolved, eluding researchers, skeptics, and truth seekers alike. From eerie disappearances to cryptic manuscripts, these enigmas continue to fascinate and frustrate, raising more questions than answers. Here are five of the greatest unsolved mysteries that still puzzle the world today. 1. The disappearance of the Sodder children. The mystery. On Christmas Eve in 1945, tragedy struck the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. A fire engulfed the house while George and Jenny Sodder and 9 of their 10 children were asleep. George and Jenny, along with 4 of their children, escaped. The remaining 5 children, Maurice 14, Martha 12, Louis 9, Jenny 8, and Betty 5, were presumed dead. However, no remains were found in the ashes. Investigations yielded conflicting evidence. Some reports claimed no bones or signs of death were present, while others suggested the fire was not hot enough to completely cremate 5 bodies. Adding to the mystery were a series of strange events both before and after the fire. The Sodders had received threats, and their phone lines were cut before the fire began. A ladder that was always propped against the house had been moved, and a witness claimed to have seen the children in a car during the fire. Over the years, the Sodders pursued every lead, convinced the children had been kidnapped. Why it remains unsolved. The local authorities concluded the fire was accidental, but inconsistencies abound. The Sodder family never accepted this conclusion. Despite decades of searching, no conclusive evidence has ever surfaced to explain what really happened to the children. The case remains officially closed, but deeply unresolved. 2. The Voynich manuscript. The mystery. Often dubbed the world's most mysterious book, the Voynich manuscript is an illustrated codex carbon dated to the early 15th century. It's written in an unknown script and language that has defied all attempts at decipherment. The manuscript contains bizarre drawings of unidentified plants, astronomical charts, and naked women bathing in strange contraptions. Discovered by rare book dealer Wilfred Voynich in 1912, the manuscript appears to be a compendium of knowledge, but of what, no one knows. It's currently housed at Yale University's Banneker Rare Book and Manuscript Library. Why it remains unsolved. Despite attracting the attention of cryptographers, linguists, and codebreakers, including World War II-era code experts, no one has definitively decoded the text. Some believe it's a sophisticated hoax. Others argue it's an encrypted language or an entirely invented one. Computer algorithms have even been applied, with no success. The purpose, language, and origin of the manuscript remain entirely speculative. 3. The Lost City of Atlantis. The mystery. The idea of a highly advanced utopian civilization that sank beneath the sea has captivated imaginations for over 2 millennia. First mentioned by the Greek philosopher Plato around 360 BCE, Atlantis was described as an island nation that existed 9,000 years before his time, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, generally believed to be the Strait of Gibraltar. According to Plato, Atlantis was a naval power that waged war against Athens, but eventually fell out of favor with the gods and was submerged by the ocean in a single day and night. Why it remains unsolved. Plato's account is the only primary source for the Atlantis story, leading many to regard it as allegory or fiction. However, that hasn't stopped countless expeditions and theories from emerging. Proposed locations range from the Mediterranean and the Caribbean to Antarctica, and even Antarctica under the ice. Despite underwater explorations and satellite imaging, no definitive evidence of Atlantis has ever been found. Whether it was real, symbolic, or misunderstood history remains an open question. 4. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. The mystery. In 1959, 9 experienced Soviet hikers died under mysterious circumstances in the Ural Mountains. Known as the Dyatlov Pass Incident, the group's tent was discovered torn open from the inside. and their bodies were scattered in various states of undress and trauma. Some of the victims had massive internal injuries with no external wounds. One had a crushed skull, another was missing her tongue and eyes. There was no sign of struggle, and some of the hikers had fled barefoot into sub-zero temperatures. Soviet authorities initially cited a compelling natural force as the cause. Since then, theories have ranged from avalanche and infrasound-induced panic to secret military tests, alien encounters, and Yeti attacks. Why it remains unsolved. Although a 2020 Russian investigation blamed an avalanche, critics argue that it doesn't account for the unique injuries and circumstances. Modern studies using computer simulations have supported the avalanche theory to some extent, but public doubt persists. The absence of concrete evidence, along with missing and classified documents, has kept the Dyatlov Pass incident shrouded in ambiguity and intrigue. 5. The identity of Jack the Ripper. The mystery. In the fall of 1888, London's Whitechapel district became the hunting ground for one of the world's most infamous serial killers, Jack the Ripper. The killer brutally murdered at least 5 women: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly, mutilating their bodies with surgical precision. Despite numerous letters sent to the police claiming responsibility, including the infamous "From Hell" letter, the killer was never caught. The case drew massive media attention and spurred fear throughout Victorian London. Why it remains unsolved. Hundreds of suspects have been proposed, ranging from local butchers to royal family members. Over the years, theories have included everything from Freemasons and occultists to imposters and medical professionals. In recent years, DNA testing on an alleged piece of Catherine Eddowes' shawl pointed to a Polish barber named Aaron Kosminski, a known suspect. However, the reliability of this evidence has been hotly debated due to contamination and chain of custody issues. To this day, the true identity of Jack the Ripper remains unknown, leaving one of the earliest known serial murder cases unsolved. Why unsolved mysteries endure. What unites all these cases is not just their lack of resolution, but the way they provoke our curiosity, fear, and imagination. They remain open questions in a world where answers are increasingly expected. Their endurance is a testament to the human drive to know the unknowable, and perhaps to our deeper fascination with the inexplicable. In many ways, unsolved mysteries are mirrors. They reflect our cultural anxieties, our cognitive limitations, and our hunger for wonder. As long as they remain unresolved, they serve as reminders that not everything in the world can be categorized, explained, or controlled. Final thoughts. Whether grounded in science, history, or folklore, these 5 unsolved mysteries continue to baffle experts and amateurs alike. Each one touches on different facets of the human experience: loss, secrecy, language, civilization, and violence. Some may eventually be solved with future technology or discoveries. Others might forever remain in the shadowy realm of the unknown. And perhaps that's part of their power. After all, not every question has an answer, and some questions only grow more fascinating the longer they go unanswered.